Welcome to the Heads Together podcast. I'm your host, Jill Mokes. Thank you for being here with me again this week. I'm talking this week about 6 things that are probably holding you back from growing your business, holding you back from bringing to life that full fat version of the business you really want. And these are common things. These are things that we probably all know to a certain extent that we're guilty of, but we feel a little bit powerless to change the way we are. Well, in this episode, I'm going to go through one by one and we're going to pull apart the things that you might be doing that are holding you back and how you can make changes. So, without further ado, let's dive in. Welcome to the Heads Together podcast. I'm Jill Mokes and I am obsessed with cutting through the noise when it comes to growing your business. Each week, via intimate coaching conversations and inspirational stories, I share what it really takes to get the results you want in a way that feels right to you. I am all about attracting higher ticket opportunities, building authentic relationships, and creating the abundant, full fat version of your dream business. I mean, how many of us have beavered away creating a light version of what we really want? The thing is, I honestly believe when you're outstanding at what you do, there is no limit to what you can achieve. So, are you ready to put our heads together and make it happen? Let's go. So if you are a coach, consultant, any other kind of service provider whose bank balance, whose revenue is not reflecting their reputation, then this episode is for you. I think what happens is that we overconsume. You know, I've said this lots of times. We overconsume so much conflicting advice from all of the business gurus out there. And I think it leaves us floundering around, really not feeling confident in ourselves, in our intuition. One of the biggest things that I've done recently is I've been working with a coach myself. Shout out to Deborah Driscoll, Big Life Magic. And it's been a very different kind of coaching for me. I've invested in coaching many times over the course of my career, and it's mostly been business coaching. But the coaching that I'm doing at the moment with Deb is really around energetic alignment and about intuition. So this is something that I'm really tuned into at the moment. I'm really tuned into my intuition, and it's made me realize how difficult building and growing a business is if that's not the case for you, right? I think that if you are disconnected from your intuition, it can be very easy to get into a slight pace of panic when you think about everything on your to-do list, what you should be doing next, how to make decisions. Those kind of things all start feeling really hard, heavy. There's a block. So these are a few things that are really, really common, and that I think by building on your intuition, you can really start making some big changes. And at the end of this episode, I'm going to share with you a little link. Well, I'll pop it in the show notes actually, which is to a free resource that my coach Deb has. It's called Attune, and it is for tuning into your intuition. So I thought I would share that with you this week rather than one of my own little freebies. But let's start going through these things that I think tuning into your intuition is going to make a big difference in. The first one is, if you are constantly seeking external validation, that will be holding you back. This is huge. This is so important. As a business owner, you have to start trusting yourself to be able to make smart decisions, right? No one else is as invested in your success as you are. So validation from anyone else isn't as meaningful as trusting your own intuition and making decisions accordingly. When you start doing things your own way, and when you start really listening to your gut and what your gut's telling you, rather than going externally to other people for their validation, everything changes. You make decisions much more quickly. You make better decisions. You stop waiting. You stop delaying. You stop procrastinating. You are able to move forward more smoothly, more quickly, and with more confidence once you tune in to your own intuition. So that's the first thing. The second one, and this is going to sound like a bit of a, not a conflict. This is going to sound like a contradiction. But if you keep waiting for a clear thunderbolt sign from the universe that it is your time to go after what you want, you are wasting time. Now, like I say, I'm talking to you about intuition this week, and intuition is super important, but intuition is something you can tune into all day, every day, and it will guide the decisions you make, and it will guide and support you to start taking action for yourself. And I think what I see happen often is that people are outsourcing their decision making to the universe. They're almost saying, I don't want to be in control of my own decisions. I don't want to make this decision. But the truth is, you have to get good at decision making. It's one of the biggest skills. I would say it's one of the top 3 skills that an entrepreneur must have, is the ability to make swift yet considered decisions with confidence. Only you can decide when it is your time to go after what you want. And listen to your intuition. Don't look externally for these universal signs. You don't need to do that. Your intuition is going to tell you everything you need to know if you listen to it. I talk about this a lot around quietening the noise so that you can listen to what comes up for you. And I don't think we do this enough. It's something that I've been doing so much more of lately. And again, it's just helped me make better decisions, easier decisions for myself, for my life, and for my business. When you get more tuned in with your intuition, you can recognize very quickly when something's off, when something isn't aligned. That's really powerful if you think about that. The third thing is something else I see people doing. This will be holding you back if you are one of these people, and that is when you are constantly trying to compete with others. Competition is born out of this scarcity mindset, a mindset that tells you that there's not enough to go round. So I've got to fight tooth and nail with my competitors. I've got to be the one that my clients come to, and then I've got to lock them up and keep everything I know a secret. And God forbid I share something with another coach that they might use. No, reframe that mindset. If you start getting really good at collaborating, if you start being really generous with your knowledge and want the best for your clients without any caveats, that is going to release you and it's going to allow you to move forward. So that's the third thing, competing with others. The fourth thing that I see people doing that I believe holds them back is trying to copy to the tiniest detail the way someone else is doing business, right? And don't get me wrong, I think it's really natural at the beginning of our sort of coaching, consulting businesses to kind of get a bit hung up on how those who are further along than us are doing things, but we all know that expression of, you can't compare your chapter 1 with someone else's chapter 12. And it's true, you can't. But here's another thing. Every single business is different. Your personality is different. Your resources are different. Your preferences are different. Your perfect clients are different. Your team, if you have one, is different. So what works for someone else won't necessarily work for you. And trying to copy down to the tiniest detail the way someone else is doing it is going to make it feel clunky for you. It's going to feel out of alignment. I'm not saying that we need to be constantly reinventing the wheel. Don't get me wrong. But I think getting into the habit of running things through a does this work for me filter. There's nothing wrong with observing what other people do and maybe even garnering some ideas from what other people are doing. But it has to be then tailored to your business, your personality, your resources, for it to become relevant for your business and not to be something that is simply holding you back from building an authentic business that really represents you, your values, your personality, your voice. So I think that's a really important one. The fifth one is really, it's the classic imposter syndrome, isn't it? I mean, I think so many people are held back by this. And this is really interesting because what working on my intuition has really helped me with is that I don't have to know all of the answers. No one knows all of the answers, right? No one. Imposter syndrome, I really like the reframe of imposter syndrome as being kind of a natural response when you have been brought up or raised to believe that certain things aren't available to you, right? If that's how you've been brought up, if that's the lens that you've had on the world, then it's almost to be expected that you're going to suffer from imposter syndrome. But if you can become more intuitive around the way you work and the way you market and grow your business, you can stop worrying that you're not expert enough. Because one thing I know for sure is that when we intuitively do what feels authentic to us, when we consistently present our authentic selves to the world, we attract the clients that we're right for. And this is nothing to do with being expert enough. We attract the right clients for us. So that was the fifth one. And then I think the sixth one is just really, I want you to stop waiting. I want you to take action. Do the things that scare you. Make the decisions, take the risks. If you want to grow your business, and if you want to have that freedom to do the amazing work that lights you up, then you have to believe that it's within your grasp. You have to believe that it's possible for you. And sometimes it takes really quietening ourselves to listen in to our intuition, to really listen to what we actually want for ourselves, to get clarity around what's next for us. Because only when you have that clarity can you make the plans, take the action, make the decisions. So it comes back again to that intuition piece. And that's why I wanted to make this quite a short, but I think powerful episode today. These are all things that are under your control. These are all things that you can take action on today to be different tomorrow. And your life and your business will thank you for it. Like I say, I'm going to put a link to the Attune. It's a free course that Deb offers, and I think you'll really enjoy it. So I'll pop a link to that in the show notes. If there's anything you want to ask me about this, connect with me on LinkedIn. DM me. I love connecting with new people on LinkedIn. It's my new favorite platform. I do have a slight love-hate relationship with it, but I'm in love at the moment. So yeah, head over there. I'll pop a link to my profile in the show notes as well. In the meantime, have a ponder on this one. Have a ponder on those 6 things. Which of them do you know you're guilty of? Do you know you're doing? And actually, which of them are you ready to make changes around? Okay. Listen, have a fabulous rest of the week, and I will see you back here again next week, same time, same place. Bye for now. I hope you enjoyed this episode and that getting our heads together this week has filled your mind with what's possible. If you love the show, would you do me a massive favour, please? Would you leave a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts? It would really help me put more heads together, reach more ears and expand more minds. Until next week, bye for now.